This is a video essay about the lesser known film franchise known as How to Train Your Dragon. Where do I start?
Normal people start at the beginning.
How to Train Your Dragon. Our story begins in Scotland. This is Cressida Cowell. She is the original author of the book. She was inspired to write about an island known as Berk because of an island that she visited when she was younger. The island she was on was a very quiet place. It didn't have any electricity or many roads. All she saw was the sea hitting the rocks. It inspired her so much that she thought of an island plagued by dragons, until a young boy can bring the two worlds together to help each other. DreamWorks bought the rights in early 2004, but early production started in 2008. The writers and directors are Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlow. They originally worked at Disney, and they worked on Lilo and Stitch, which is why a certain adorable creature exists, which looks like another cute creature. Aww. With the story underway, they needed the cast. They went for Scottish people for the parents to make a noticeable divide between the two. So for the grown-ups they went for Gerard Butler as Stoic the Vast, Craig Ferguson as Gobber, and David Tennant as Spitelout. And for the others we have Jay Baruchel as Hiccup, America Ferrera as Astrid, Jonah Hill as Snotlout, Kristen Wiig as Ruffnut, TJ Miller as Toughnut, and Christopher Mintz-Plasse as Fishlegs. The movies. How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon is the first in a trilogy of movies that mean the world to me. Here's why. I love the bond that is developed between Toothless and Hiccup because of the scene called Forbidden Friendship. It's only a few minutes long, but you feel everything. There's no talking in it, only the music, and it really works. I love the music in the film. The music is done by John Powell, and every song is great. They really help the film in so many ways. The way the characters work off each other and the way they complement each other, especially Stoic and Hiccup as a father wanting the best for your son, but also being the chief. He struggles to show how much he loves his son. And Hiccup trying to prove himself, but every time he does, he messes up, making the situation 10 times worse. How to Train Your Dragon 2. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is the second movie in the trilogy.
No shit.
How to Train Your Dragon 2 is about maturing, loss, and grief and finding people. It's set 5 years after the first. With the success of the first one and the change in technology, Hiccup definitely looks better, and you can tell.
Gotta work on your solo gliding there, bud. That locked up tail makes for some pretty sloppy rescue maneuvers, hey?
Hiccup has matured, but he hasn't taken responsibility to the village. He's too busy exploring uncharted lands until Drago Bloodfist, the dragon trapper, threatens the peace between people and dragons. Dragons: The Hidden World. The Hidden World is the third and final movie in the trilogy. This one is about realizing that you're strong with someone, but stronger without, and proving yourself, and moving on and letting go. This is a year after number 2, and Berk is overrun by dragons, and there's not much space. And a dragon killer is strictly after Night Furies, and Toothless is lonely because there's no more Night Furies left. And to attract Toothless, the dragon killer releases a Light Fury, and Toothless instantly falls for her, but makes a drift between Toothless and Hiccup. And Hiccup wants the best for him and struggles to let him go. The specials. And no, I don't mean the band. Legend of the Bone Napper. It's about Gobber, the blacksmith, who gets attacked by a dragon that no one believes in.
What's he talking about? Our dragons don't do that anymore.
Ah, he doesn't mean one of yours. Gobber, for the last time, there is no such thing as a bone napper!
It's about him telling tales about the dragon, and each one gets more and more stupid.
The hammerhead yak riding the hammerhead wheel!
Deploy the yak!
I thought it was okay as a standalone thing, and it's nice to see the teens without the dragons.
Well, what do you know? No roar.
Book of Dragons. It's about learning about the other species of dragons and the history of how the book was made. I like it because it adds more lore to the established realm of the world building, and it makes it feel more authentic and realistic. Gift of a Night Fury. It's about the holiday that Vikings celebrate called Snoggletog. It's their Christmas, and it's how the dragons have their own holiday where they have their babies. And it's about Hiccup making a new tail for Toothless that works, and it's now so Toothless can fly on his own. I love this one because it shows that Toothless will always be friends with Hiccup. Dawn of Dragon Racers. It's about how the sport known as dragon racing and how it came to be. I like this one to show off the new character models while also trying to link to the second movie. Dragon's Homecoming. It's about what Toothless has been up to between the ending of the third movie and the epilogue. I thought that it ruins the ending of the third movie because that it means that Toothless went to New Berk, and it doesn't make sense because how did Toothless see Hiccup and then completely forget about him? The TV shows. Riders of Berk. It takes place right after the first movie, and it's about Hiccup teaching the villagers how to live with dragons.
Oh no, what's Stoic gonna do to us?
I'm too pretty for jail.
Where'd you hear that?
You all disobeyed my orders, and there will be consequences.
Dad, if anyone's going to get in trouble, it should be me.
No, you all had a hand in this. Took over this place without asking. You released the dragons against my wishes. Things are going to change around here. That's why
You're getting a dragon training academy!
Huh? Gobber! I wanted to tell them.
I'm sorry. You're right. Go ahead.
Well, you told most of it.
You can tell him the part about how proud you are of him.
Gobber!
Hiccup. Well, what he said.
I like the TV show because it's important to show how they adapt. Because no one is going to adapt right away, and it's going to take time. Defenders of Berk. It takes place right after the events of Riders, and it's about teaching the villagers how to defend themselves from people who want to hurt dragons. This is one of the best TV shows because it adds stakes. Don't worry, no actual animals were harmed in the making of this video or anything in How to Train Your Dragon. Maybe a few chickens, but yeah, oh well.
The Night Fury! Hiccup! My brother! You've done it! You've led me right to it!
Race to the Edge is 3 years after Defenders, and it explains why there's new dragons in the second movie. It's about the gang exploring outside the fog bank and finding secrets about the dragon trappers. This is the best TV show because the characters actually grow and develop, and it answers questions that people had for the second movie. The graphic novels. Dragons, the Serpent's Heir. It's set a few minutes after the second movie. It's about Hiccup helping an island that's being plagued by an earthquake causing dragon. I haven't read it, by the way. Dragon's Dragon Vine. It's about Hiccup becoming chief and then helping an island that's filled with spider-like dragons. They are poisonous to humans and he needs to help stop them. I haven't read this one either, please don't kill me in the comments, I am so sorry, please forgive me for my sins. Games. Rise of Berk is a tap village builder strategy game. It's very addicting and fun to play. I'm currently level 30 and Mead level 7. School of Dragons is a PC MMO RPG where you train dragons and race with them and look after them and go on adventures with them. It's fun when you know what you're doing. It's very similar to Warframe as it's not very clear from the get-go what to do. How to Train Your Dragon game is a fighting game for consoles and PC. It's very fun as you can customize your dragon and the fighting is basic but fun to play. How to Train Your Dragon 2 game is a flying and challenge game for consoles. I don't like the game because it's awkward to play and hard to fly, and there's not much to do. Dragons Rise of New Riders is a dungeon crawler open world flyer for consoles and PC. It's fun as a flyer, but it's basic as a dungeon crawler, so it's a good game. The conclusion. How to Train Your Dragon as a franchise is amazing. It develops over time and gets darker and darker as the films and shows go on. I've learnt a lot from this franchise, such as how important family is and how hard it is to fit in, and you don't need things to help you fit in and become stronger because everyone has their own strengths. That's all of the franchise. Thank you guys for watching and thank you for 100 subscribers. This video is for every single one of you.
What about Dragon's 9 realms?
We don't do that here.
No shit.